LeBron James is about to do the one thing the NBA never believed he would: walk away from the Los Angeles Lakers on his own terms. If this report is true, the league isn't just watching free agency, it's witnessing the beginning of the most shocking final chapter of LeBron's legendary career.
The feeling around LeBron James, around the league, is that he's going to go at least one more season. What does LeBron want?
I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously.
He would have some appetizing options.
I go to Golden State and I join Steph Curry.
You don't want to go on this big farewell tour in a Laker uniform. Damn it, I want to see you back at the crib.
Hey, wherever it is, it's a good bet he's going to pick up some hardware. 2 MVPs, first stint with the Cavs, 2 more, and first 2 titles, and that 4-year run in South Beach, an iconic finals MVP and championship, and the return to the land, and 4th finals MVP and title with the Lakers in the bubble.
Hannah, 6 hours until the start of NBA free agency, LeBron James' longtime agent Rich Paul called Lakers president Rob Pelinka and informed Rob Pelinka and the Lakers that LeBron James would not be returning to the Lakers, that the Lakers should move on with the business that they have the rest of this offseason without him, because LeBron James is moving on and doing his own business. So at 6 p.m. Eastern time, LeBron James will be a free agent. And I'm told happiness is the biggest factor in his decision to leave and pursue his next team. And his mindset is not believed to be driven by finances. He spent 8 seasons with the Lakers, 1 championship there, obviously, but the relationship he felt had run its course. We know LeBron James clearly felt at times that the Lakers' championship mindset did not match his potentially. He's in championship mode every single season. We saw these two sides were at odds at different points the last couple of years. Now LeBron James rips that Band-Aid off. He is headed toward free agency in just a few hours, where he will get attraction from a ton of teams across the league.
Any more information on who some of those teams might be?
And a dozen teams will call and check in and try to pitch LeBron James on coming, most of them being contenders, obviously. But when I talk to teams around the league, there's a few that really stand out that could give LeBron James a compelling pitch. The Golden State Warriors, Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Miami Heat. We know he has history with the Heat and the Cavaliers. Both teams are supposed to be expected contenders out in the Eastern Conference. And then the Warriors of it all. Draymond Green opted out of his $27.7 million contract as the Warriors had formulated a grand plan to try to get both LeBron James and Anthony Davis in a potential package acquisitions at this free agency point and be able to team up Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James. There are a lot other dominoes that have to fall for that. The Wizards would have to play ball on a trade of Jimmy Butler and draft picks to Washington. So a lot to sort through there, but those are 3 of the teams.
What we have here is a good old-fashioned conscious uncoupling. You'll notice that the Lakers didn't try to talk him out of it because they're ready to move on. But we did have 2 questions, as you mentioned, Hannah. We were waiting on 2 questions for a while now. We got the answers. Number 1, is LeBron going to continue playing? I know he looked great, and I know that it looked like he's got more gas in the tank, but we didn't know for sure, so he's going to keep playing. Secondly, how much of a factor was money going to be? Because I know, and you 2 guys know, you don't mess with LeBron's money. All right? I'm not going to assume he's going to play for less money. Well, that message was sent out today and sent out to everybody in the league. He's going to want all the money you can give him. Don't get me wrong. He's not going to take what you can't. You know, he's going to want you to try to get him money. This is not going to be a money decision. And for the first time in a long time for LeBron, money is not going to factor into it. And that opens it up pretty wide.
Yeah, happiness is the buzzword of the day. Meanwhile, he was in Ohio working out at home. You heard Shams mention Cleveland as a potential destination, Dave.
Yeah. I mean, of all the places in the world where he could come to the conclusion that he was going to be leaving the Lakers and telling the Lakers he was going to be leaving, it just so happens to be Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm not going to say that's all of the clues right there, but we have to read the tea leaves here. I know that several members of LeBron's kind of inner circle are going to meet him in Ohio this week. And I'm sure they continue to have a discussion about what the decision will be, but it could be the best situation right down the road from where he grew up, 45 minutes from Akron, with the Cavs for a 3rd stint.
Out of these emotions. And what hit me when this news broke was that LeBron James, it's your turn. You have officially become a depreciating asset. And there's no disrespect, but if you think about all the greats, Jordan, he had become a depreciating asset when he went to the Wizards. Hakeem Olajuwon when he went to the Raptors. Scottie Pippen when he went to Portland Trail Blazers. And it just made me think about the landscape of the NBA. It's almost like a car dealership where they want the new shiny cars on their car lot. They don't want a 1998 Benz sitting on there. And when you think about the Lakers, they're looking at a Luka Doncic and they're saying, how much thread do we have on these tires? Yeah, you're on our car lot, but maybe 4 or 5 years. Austin Reeves, 5 or 6 years. So I had to get my feelings out of it. And the Lakers actually are doing the right thing as well for as this divorce that is happening. And so when you think about all-time greats and you think about James Harden, Steph Curry, all of these guys are becoming these depreciating assets. It's just that time.
The NBA has spent years asking one question. When will LeBron James finally leave the Los Angeles Lakers? Now, another question is even bigger. What if he chooses to walk away on his own terms? If everything unfolding around the league proves true, this isn't just another free agency story. This is the beginning of the final and possibly most unpredictable chapter of one of the greatest careers basketball has ever witnessed. League executives believe LeBron is preparing for at least one more NBA season, but this time, the destination may not be Los Angeles. For months, speculation surrounded retirement. Instead, the conversation has exploded into something much bigger. Not whether LeBron is done, but where he wants to chase championship number 5. Because after 8 seasons, 1 championship, 1 finals MVP, countless records, and becoming the NBA's all-time leading scorer while wearing purple and gold, something has clearly changed. Behind closed doors, insiders describe a relationship that simply ran its course. Not with anger, not with betrayal, with something perhaps even more dangerous. Acceptance. The Lakers appear ready to move forward. And for the first time in years, LeBron appears ready to do exactly the same. This isn't just another superstar considering free agency. This is the most influential player of his generation reopening the market. And suddenly, every contender is paying attention. But if LeBron is truly leaving Los Angeles, the biggest question isn't why. It's what finally convinced him that the Lakers were no longer the place to finish his legendary career. The most surprising part of this entire situation isn't that LeBron may leave. It's why. According to conversations around the league, money is not driving this decision. That alone changes everything. LeBron has built a career maximizing every opportunity, both on and off the court. Yet this time, insiders continue repeating one word: happiness. That word has echoed through front offices across the NBA. Not salary, not endorsements, not contracts. Happiness. LeBron has approached every season with one mission: compete for championships. No exceptions. No rebuilding. No waiting. But over the last several years, many observers felt the Lakers' timeline slowly drifted away from his own. While LeBron remained locked into championship mode every October, organizational priorities appeared increasingly focused on the future. Young talent, draft assets, long-term flexibility. Those goals aren't necessarily wrong. In fact, they may be smart, but they no longer match the urgency of a player entering year 23. Eventually, even successful partnerships expire. Sometimes there is no explosion, no public feud, just two sides realizing they are chasing different futures. That's exactly what this feels like. A quiet separation between one franchise preparing for tomorrow and one superstar who still believes today belongs to him. And once money stopped becoming the biggest obstacle, The entire NBA suddenly became LeBron's playground. Which brings us to the three teams everyone is watching. League executives expect nearly a dozen teams to make calls. But only 3 destinations continue appearing in serious conversations. And each one tells a completely different story. First, the Golden State Warriors. Imagine Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis. One roster. One final championship assault. Draymond's $27.7 million player option immediately became part of a much larger puzzle as Golden State explored ways to build perhaps the most experienced superstar lineup of this generation. Would it require complicated trades? Absolutely. Would multiple franchises need to cooperate? Without question. But even discussing that possibility is enough to send shockwaves across the NBA. Then comes Cleveland. Home. Akron. Just 45 minutes from where LeBron grew up. The place where everything started. The Cavaliers already possess one of the Eastern Conference's strongest young cores. Adding LeBron wouldn't simply strengthen the roster. It would complete a story decades in the making. Then there's Miami. The organization that transformed LeBron from MVP into champion. 2 league MVP awards. 2 NBA championships. 2 finals MVPs. A culture obsessed with winning. Exactly the type of environment many believe still appeals to him today. 3 franchises. 3 completely different paths. One decision that could reshape the championship race overnight. But perhaps the biggest surprise isn't which teams want LeBron. It's the uncomfortable reality every franchise must now face before making that call. Here's where the debate becomes uncomfortable. And incredibly emotional. Some analysts believe LeBron James has officially entered the stage every all-time great eventually reaches. Not decline. Not irrelevance. But depreciation. That word sounds harsh. Yet history keeps repeating itself. Michael Jordan eventually became a different player in Washington. Hakeem Olajuwon reached that point in Toronto. Scottie Pippen experienced it in Portland. Every legend eventually stops being the future and becomes part of basketball history. That doesn't mean LeBron isn't still elite. Far from it. He remains one of the league's smartest players, an elite playmaker, and someone fully capable of changing a playoff series. But front offices think differently. When executives look at Luka Doncic, they see another 5 or more years of superstar basketball. When they evaluate Austin Reeves, they see a player still climbing. When they evaluate LeBron, they see urgency. They see a championship window measured in months, not years. That changes negotiations. That changes roster construction. That changes priorities. It's not disrespect. It's business. And perhaps even LeBron understands that reality better than anyone, which leads to one final question. If championships, not contracts, will define this decision, where does LeBron believe his final basketball masterpiece can truly be written? As NBA free agency opens, one truth has become impossible to ignore. LeBron James is still chasing greatness. Not comfort. Not nostalgia. Greatness. His next destination won't simply determine where he plays basketball. It may determine how history remembers the final years of a career that already includes 4 NBA championships, 4 finals MVP awards, 4 regular season MVP trophies, and over 2 decades of unprecedented excellence. Whether it's Golden State, whether it's Cleveland, whether it's Miami, or whether another unexpected contender suddenly enters the conversation. The decision won't merely change one franchise. It could alter the entire championship picture overnight. Fans are divided. Some believe leaving the Lakers is the perfect ending. Others insist his legacy belongs in Los Angeles. And that's exactly what makes this story so powerful. For the first time in years, nobody truly knows what LeBron James will do next. The uncertainty is real. The pressure is enormous. The clock is ticking. And somewhere behind closed doors, one decision is waiting to shake the NBA once again. Because legends don't simply retire. Sometimes, they choose one final battle.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.